Alrighty. So I am Angel,
May.
and we are on Basic Black. So before we get started, please hit that button to like and subscribe to our channel, please.
Por
Cannot
favor.
stress enough.
Por favor.
Please.
Onegaishimasu. I think I said it wrong.
No, 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 no.
Use the wrong one, rather.
uh,
Use the wrong one. Trying to get the languages right because there's like levels of please. So it
yeah.
depends on what you're asking for, right?
Kudasai, onegaishimasu. So, what are we talking about today?
Well, today I thought we'd talk about the movies of 2019 to see what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't even care to watch. So
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not wasting my time with that.
Right. Yeah, there were a lot of movies that came out.
Yeah.
So, looking at my phone here for 2019, can you see me? Alrighty. So, how about we start with the first movie that pops up here? And that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep, that was a Quentin Tarantino film, and it was true to Quentin Tarantino. So,
Oh boy, I actually didn't see it.
huh?
I said I actually didn't see it, but I can imagine as soon as you said Quentin Tarantino, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, well, of course for the profanity, but also because the movie jumps a little bit. So
Mhm.
it's like, where am I kind of thing. It's like Pulp Fiction.
Right,
Only now I've seen a whole bunch of his movies now, so I know that somewhere along the way I'm gonna lose time.
right.
So there
Because
was that, but I really, really enjoyed it, and it was actually based on the Manson murders. The yeah,
oh,
that massacre that they did. Yeah, so
okay.
yeah, so it was like an alternate universe story. I'm trying not to give too much away, so I don't want to spoil it, but
Spoilers. Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert, but it was good. It took a minute because it's Quentin Tarantino for me, so his take a minute for me, and then it's like okay, and then I was waiting for the big thing,
Right,
and when it happened, and I can't tell you because it'll spoil it.
right.
But the big, because he always has something big that happens in his movies,
Yeah.
so it got to the big thing, and I was like, okay, there we go.
Wow.
It was so
Okay.
good.
Well,
And
it's out, so I'll have to get on iTunes and check it out or
yeah,
Amazon
yeah, it
Prime.
was really good. And Brad Pitt, of course, and I am gonna spoil this part. He takes his shirt off.
Uh,
He looks so good.
uh,
And I was surprised because he's getting up there in age and he's still keeping in shape. So it was a nice thing to see. It was
mhm.
good times. Also, Leonardo DiCaprio's performance was really good too. His character was going through an
Always.
existential crisis. Yeah,
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 he's
he's a
a
great actor.
phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
He really is. From the time he was like Gilbert Grapes young
yeah,
up
yeah,
until now, he has never disappointed. And I know a lot, like especially during the early, like the late '90s, early 2000s, a lot of people kind of gave him a lot of flack because of his looks. Because he has this like California boy
yeah.
blonde
All
hair,
American,
huh?
all American.
Yeah, well, yeah, all American look, but he, because of his look, I think they discounted his ability as an actor.
That's a shame.
You didn't get that sense?
I didn't care. I like the stuff. The critics have a tendency to say stuff about actors and in movies, and it's like, well, I appreciate the critics' input because they deal like with the artistic side of stuff and all of that. But it's like, well, can I just go see the movie for myself and see if I like it or if I like his acting? Because like the stuff that they nominated for the example I always go back to, Monsters Ball was nominated and Halle Berry won the Academy Award for that. Yeah, see your face is like, that's what you pick? Really? That
Right.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't Academy Award worthy.
Yeah, and it wasn't
So,
an Academy Award performance either.
right, right. She's done better stuff. so,
Right.
so
Right.
like with Leonardo DiCaprio being dismissed as much as he was, I was just really surprised because he can really act, and now they're starting to recognize that. But it was a shame that they didn't recognize it when he was little. I mean, Dakota Fanning got more buzz than he did, and she has that All American look too.
Right.
So,
Right.
so I don't tend to pay attention to critics. It's like I'll just, if I want to see it, I'll see it, and if I don't, then I won't. Maybe I'll just catch it at the Dollar Theater or on Netflix or something.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, I don't really care what they say. So
Right. Parasite was the Korean movie that came out.
I've only recently just heard about it. I didn't know anything about it, and I was really surprised that it was a foreign film that got nominated.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it too is because the director, this Bong Joon-ho,
Okay.
Joon-ho, Bong Joon-ho, sorry, dude. You know, he's done some pretty good stuff in the past, you know.
Okay.
Um, if you like, you know, if you like those kind, one of the things that you may have seen like trailers for or something, if you haven't actually seen the movie, was this movie called The Host. That one was actually a really, really good movie, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but in true to Korean drama fashion, they don't pull punches.
Okay.
And that one was a pretty good one. And then there was also the one that he did with my darling Captain America, the Snowpiercer.
Hmm.
So that was kind of like his introduction to like kind of like a Western movie making or Western movie cast or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
I was actually surprised to learn that that was actually a Korean movie because I had seen the Snowpiercer because of the obvious reason with Chris being in it. But it was a surprise that it was actually a Korean made film. So
Okay.
I think it's awesome that, you know, that the world is embracing this major movie industry.
Yeah.
Because Korea has a major television and movie industry, as well as the music industry that we now hear about. K-pop, you know, is gaining a lot of popularity.
Right.
But it's so nice to see that the movie industry has embraced them as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
So
that's
put that on the list then.
yeah, that's the skinny on that movie. The flack that he gets, but yeah, phenomenal actor, makes phenomenal movies. Okay, next one.
I agree. So Hobbs and Shaw was great fiction.
I'm really sick of the Fast and the Furious franchise. I'm really sick of the Fast and the Furious franchise, but I mean, you can't really go wrong with The Rock.
It's hard.
Wrong with The Rock. So. And then put The Rock in Samoa. Hello.
I hate that I missed Dumbo. I didn't see that yet, so that's on my list of things to see. I did want to see The Lion King. I missed it. I did not hear good things about it, and like kids who grew up with The Lion King as their staple video for every day they torture their parents with, like no, not so much.
Yeah, I found it incredibly boring, as did the girls. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
I missed Rambo. I saw pieces of it, so I want to see it all the way from beginning to end. I know the man is old and he really shouldn't be blowing up stuff at his age, but it's still cool to see. I mean, if you can still do it, then okay.
HE double hockey six. He is old and dusty. But like you said, if he can still do it. But woo, sit down, retire, enjoy your golden years.
Okay. Glass was awesome.
It got a lot of criticism, but I actually loved it too. I I did not see what the critics were talking about. Even some of the fans of the franchise did not like it. And I was like, really? I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was the cop out at the end, where it's like some super organization trying to keep people from learning that there are superheroes in the world, and they kill them all at the end. That was. Oh. Spoiler! Spoiler! I will edit all that out.
Yeah, but
that's the only.
I have mixed feelings about the ending, but just the rest of it was just like wow.
Completely awesome. I love that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. The latest Godzilla movie, I saw that. I liked it because it put Godzilla. It's putting Godzilla back as a hero. But I did not like, and it'll spoil it, but I did not like what they did to the Japanese guy. I don't know his name. Watanabe, I think is his last name. But yeah, I don't like what they did with him because. Anyway,
I don't think it was Watanabe. No, that's not Watanabe. Yeah, it's the other guy, Kinji something.
Okay. Not to dismiss his name, but you know who I'm talking about. Just, yeah, I don't like what they did to his character at all. It just bugged me to no end. So
okay,
but Godzilla,
get to know what you're talking about. So
but Godzilla, I overall I enjoyed the movie. Downton Abbey, I'm trying to be a fan. I just have a hard time with wealthy people have problems.
For me, that is kind of like a secondary thought, but for me it's just the opulence of it, the grandness of it. It's so classic and it's so beautiful that it just reeks of beauty and culture and history, and that's what I like about Downton Abbey and the series as well. That's what I loved about it, and then to be able to see it on the big screen where you can actually see the manor come into view. That is high on my list of travels. I will go there someday to see the place.
Yeah, I think I really need to give the show a fair chance and just go back to the beginning and just watch it from beginning to end, because I did watch it for a little while and there were parts in there, but some of the characters just rubbed me like, God, that the daughter with the black hair, she just had an opinion about everything. She got on my dadgum nerves. But anyway,
they always have to have characters that get on your nerves so you can say exactly what you're saying now. I hate her so much.
Judy came out. I wasn't really interested in that.
No. And, now, no offense to Judy, but it kind of reminds me of like Rocket Man and some of these other ones. It's like, now for some of the movies that came out, when did we start making movies about people that aren't dead yet? What happened to them? They've been dead for a while, like a long, like Elvis time, and then you make a movie, to kind of talk about their lives and all of these things, but you're making movies about people that either died last year or they're not dead yet. And it's like, why it's not over yet?
Yeah, kind of self-serving. Like
it feels very self-serving, so it's kind of off-putting. Right. Why are you making a movie about this person's life when their life's not over yet, or their legacy has just come to an end? I mean, and it's like it really feels self-serving to whoever is the owner of their estate. Let's get a movie out as fast as humanly possible instead of giving it, because a lot of stuff ends up making a roundabout. It comes back around. So they may have been gone a while, but then they have a resurgence and people are like, Elvis movies and Elvis music and all of these other things. So give it time to come back around. But you know what I mean? And it's like, I understand you want to respect their legacy. You want to respect what they've done in their lives, but you're not showing it much respect by doing that, I don't think.
Well, maybe it's
manufactured. Let's put a movie out as quick as we can, and this is the result of it.
Well, maybe it's along the lines of kind of like a memoir or a biography or stuff. Because people do memoirs. I forget who it was, but there was somebody I was listening to her on NPR, and she's come out with her fourth memoir.
Right. And ridiculous. Ridiculous. And that is all self-serving. It really is.
Yeah, but she's got something to say. So
his own. Yeah.
About Captain Marvel. I saw Toy Story 4, and I thought it was
as well.
You saw it? You liked it?
I did. It was a Toy Story movie.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it, but I'm really at the point with these sequels and on and on and on. When will it end? I like a beginning, middle, and end. But a lot of these, because they've created franchises out of these movies, they just keep going on and on and on and on. And it's like, you could do that forever then if you do it that way.
Yeah.
And there's just no end to it.
But some movies and some stories, I like that because I want to know what happens. I want to see them grow. And they can grow in a 2-hour period, but it's nice that they get to take their time and grow through the sequels and stuff like that. But because
so you care about what happened to Woody and Buzz after Andy grew up and went away to college?
Well, I did, yeah. I have issues, yeah. Like, how do they deal with the loss and the separation anxiety?
Nope, don't care even a little bit what happened. He grew up and went.
It's just the for me, I like to know like what happened. Like, okay, so then do they eventually get thrown in the trash anyway and just deal with it and live out their days in the junkyard?
You want to know that? That's what I'm saying. Do you want to know that? So if so, hey, Toy Story franchise. All right, there you go. You have got an instant market. He wants to know what
the only one.
Once they get thrown away and put in the junkyard, so you got your next movie. Toy Story 5 coming next year.
Okay, how about one more? Aladdin. We both saw it.
Oh, I loved with a capital L that movie. To me, and I will say, when I went into the movie theater, I did not want to go. I was taking my girls, and I was upset about going. I was like, this is going to be the dumbest, most boring, most ridiculous movie ever. And within the first minute of that movie, I was like, oh. I loved it. Yeah, I thought they did a great job. And a couple of those movies that they've tried to reanimate into, what do they call it, real people?
Live action.
Live action. There you go. You know the thing with the tinker and the Twinkie.
Yeah.
Live action. A lot of those kind of movies to me have really fell flat, like Beauty and the Beast, and
You don't like Beauty and the Beast?
I did not like Beauty and the Beast at all.
I'm always disappointed
for 2 hours of that.
With the cartoon Beauty and the Beast and with the live action Beauty and the Beast. I was disappointed with who they got to be the Beast after he became human again. I was like, oh, that's him?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that. It was just the whole.
I didn't know if I was seeing it again, but yeah, and that was the thing with Aladdin was because of my son, I watched the cartoon Aladdin so much, you know all the songs and things like that, so you look for them. So I was glad that they put some of those in there, but then they started making up other songs, and I'm like, I don't really care for that song. And
that's what I enjoyed, actually. I was on the opposite end of that, because the songs that they made up, like Beauty and the Beast, for example, I didn't like the songs that they made up. They felt forced. They felt like, okay, we got to get some extra songs in here that let people know this is a reboot. And they throw these songs in, and it's like, meh. But then for me, because it had that Will Smith twist to it,
it wasn't his songs I had a problem with.
I know. I'm going somewhere with this. but because it had that Will Smith twist to it, like the atmosphere of the movie, it just elevated it. So then when you hear like the extra songs that they added in it, you already have that sense of that difference. Like, I know because of Will Smith putting his own twist on it that this is not like the Robin Williams version. This is not like the original cartoon version. This is something different that they've done.
Right.
It feels different, whereas the other movies, it feels forced. Like, oh, we're trying to be different, but not really. Okay. We just added a couple of songs that's different, but the rest of it is like we're trying so hard to be different, but it just ends up feeling like a flat version of the original movie. Whereas for me, Aladdin, it just elevated it, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And like I said, the extra songs that they threw in, the extra songs that they added, I thought those songs were so great. In fact, I almost teared up on that that Speechless song, right? Because she had so much raw emotion, so much power to it, and I felt her emotion while she was singing that song. Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it was, and like I said, I was already riding that high from how wonderful Will Smith did in his portrayal.
Yeah, he did a great job.
You know, I was already riding that high, and then when the extra songs came, I was like, see, this is what it sounds like when you put forth effort. When you put forth some effort, this is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That was it?
Yep.
Okay. So you wanted to talk about the Joker. I watched a lot of behind the scenes stuff for the Joker. I want to see it. I just didn't get around to doing it. I'll probably catch that on iTunes.
Okay.
I work for iTunes. I know I keep mentioning them, but that's where I watch my movies that I miss at the theater. But I know that Joaquin Phoenix, did I pronounce his name right?
Yeah, Joaquin.
Yeah. I know that he did a lot of preparation for that role, and people were really, really concerned about him because he has a tendency to throw himself so far into his characters to the point where he becomes that character. And because that character is so dark and so melancholy, they were afraid they wouldn't be able to pull him back out of it. Mm. And everything that I've seen so far supports that. He became the Joker. Do you agree with that as a person who has seen the film?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that some of it was kind of CGI, but based on what you just said, he lost a lot of weight, and when you see it, you're gonna see his body, and and then it's like, is that real or is that you know? He did a really, really good job, and the way that they wrote the story for Joker kind of made you like, oh, is that his backstory? You kind of feel bad for him, like, up until you realize, oh no, he's a homicidal maniac. This he's not right. But you tend to have this thing for him because of how his character is, because of how Joker is portrayed in the movie. So you're getting like a really nice origin story, and it's not a quick story like with the Batman movies. It's, oh, this is Joker. He fell into a vat of stuff and went crazy. Like,
right.
No.
There's something happened before that.
So it was too much, or it was thrown into the movie or something.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
But I thought that it went well with his character, because then you learn so much about him, and there's a whole bunch of it's like an onion. There are layers.
Right.
You peel some more, and then you get to the core, and you're like, we're gonna need some doctors and some police and SWAT.
But I think, one of the good things that I liked about this movie is that it has sparked more discussions about mental illness, and that's a good thing, that people are, they're talking more about the depths of mental illness, because a lot of times people see the mentally ill as just, oh, those crazy people. But like you said about the layers and the onions, you know, it took time. You know, there were things that occurred, and recognizing these signs and things early, even in childhood, recognizing these things, treatment is possible. There is treatment if you know what to look for. And the more we have these conversations, the more, and I'm going on a public service announcement now, but the more we can treat these illnesses, because they're treatable. But you end up with people wandering the streets, murmuring to themselves, and they're like, oh, those crazy people. And it's like, somebody could have recognized that when this person was a child. And they would have been able to live a pretty productive life. You know, would have been able to live, it's manageable. You can live a productive life if they just get the treatment that they need. So when I see movies like this, especially ones that are well received, because it sparks conversation.
And it's gonna,
good thing.
Yeah, it's gonna end up sparking a conversation about American healthcare, because there's a part in there that deals with how America treats healthcare. So because he was, spoiler, he was being treated, and then he was not.
Right. Yeah. And which happens a lot. So I mean, the healthcare system, you're as well as we're going to pay for.
Right.
And I'm not going to talk about all that, but you know, I experienced that firsthand.
Yes.
We're going to pay for. So off you go, and we hope you make it.
Right. So that's one of the things too.
It's better. Way better than that. You know, we've got to do so much better. It's not even funny, but it all starts with the conversation.
Right.
Which is part of why we at Unbasic Black do what we do. We have conversations literally about everything, because that spark is all it takes to change the world. Once we get people talking, and once we get people talking about issues and about things going on in this world, that's how you can change them. Right?
Yeah. So, when you get a chance, it's a really good movie. It was just.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, so I'll probably watch it tonight.
Yeah, it was really good. It is dark. It's dark.
Yeah, I figured I could tell from the tone. And like I said, I've seen a lot of things surrounding the movie. I just hadn't seen the actual movie, because I've seen a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of the making ofs and all of this stuff. And Joaquin had to go into a deep, deep, dark place for his portrayal. So I hope he's okay now. I haven't seen him, so I hope he's okay now. Have you seen him at any award shows or anything like that?
No, I have not.
So I'm hoping that he's okay, because I know some of his family and friends were concerned about that, because he does have a tendency to throw himself into these roles so deeply that he embodies these people. And for him to embody the Joker, you go into a dark hole.
Speaking of coming out of a character, the actress, I think her name is Cindy, African last name, the English lady who played Harriet Tubman for Harriet, that I did not see, that I really want to see. She did a Super Soul Sunday, and she talked, and Oprah asked her, like, what was like one of the roles that took you the longest to come out of, and she said it was Harriet, because
I hate that Super Soul.
Because of how far she had to go to make sure that she did Harriet justice. It took her a while to come out of that.
Because I mean, imagine just because you're embodying this person that had such a phenomenal history, such a phenomenal story, and you're having to take yourself into that place. And we all understand that the time of slavery and the things that slaves went through was a very deep, dark time. And in order for you to bring yourself mentally into that place, because Oprah talked about that a lot too when she did Beloved. She said that was very, very difficult for her, because she actually went on a mini journey and followed a slave route, and she's Oprah and she knows that she's going to be fine, but she said it was absolutely terrifying. And you can only imagine how Harriet and all these other people felt during that time. I couldn't imagine. I think that would take anybody a while to get over, because you're looking around and you're like, I know I'm safe now, but oh my gosh, you know? So yeah, I can totally imagine how she felt. We'll have to get her name, because I think she deserves to have her name mentioned, and I don't know her name either, and I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, Cindy or Cynthia, something like that. But yeah, she's a good actress too, though. She's really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just wanted to bring that up because you're talking about Brink coming out.
Absolutely. Okay, so obviously there's a whole slew of movies that we did not get a chance to talk about. You know, Pikachu,
Maleficent.
Who?
Maleficent.
Maleficent. Yeah, there's quite a few movies that we missed. So maybe at some point we'll do a part 2 or something, like, to talk about more movies. But we can go on and on talking about movies. And now that we're in 2020, there's a whole slew of movies coming out this year as well. So we will definitely do a 2020 edition. So come back for that. So we'll be talking about what's coming up this year, what's already come out so far. Oh man, it's going to be a busy year for movies again, and you know we'll be talking about it all.
Yep.
So I'm Angel.
I'm